Dan Riley's Ulster Bar, haunt of GAA and home of Crusherlaw footballers. Dan, how long are you in the pub business?
40 years.
14 years,
Yeah.
in the one premises.
One premises, yeah.
And how are things going for you?
No, not too bad.
Recession's not hitting you too badly, or
A
anything?
wee bit.
Huh?
A wee bit.
A wee bit, a wee bit.
And everybody.
Well, you come directly in from farming into the pub business, or?
No, it's on the road.
You're on the road?
Yeah.
Breaking stones? Huh? You were on the road, yeah. You don't intend to go back on the road?
Wait me long.
Who did you take over from?
Paddy Riley.
Paddy Riley?
Yeah.
Affectionately known as the Missioner?
Yes.
Oh, well, we still know Paddy. Tell us, this is the home of, or supposed to be the home of the hideout of the Crusherlaw footballers. Can you tell us about this particular trophy we're looking at here? What is it? The Oliver Plunkett Trophy, presented to the Gaels of Breffni by a Saggart in honour of Blessed Oliver Plunkett, Ireland. What's that? Oh, Ireland martyred private. Yeah, July 11, 1931. He's now a saint. Tell us about this trophy, Dan, or Jimmy, or maybe Noel here. What's the history to this trophy?
Well, this trophy was the original trophy that was presented in Cavan for the senior championship.
Noel.
Yeah, for the senior championship. And Crusherlaw, after the first time they won it was in 1958, and of course we always think of that day when we think of Jimmy Smith and 3 goals he scored. But they won it again in 1958 and 1961, and then after a lapse of a few years, they eventually won it then again in 1966. That was the start of the 7 in a row. And it was about 67 or 68 that this cup was, they got this cup to keep. Was it after winning it 3 times?
3 times in a row.
Yeah. They eventually got this cup, and there was a new cup presented in Cavan for the senior championship. So they got this cup for the keep. So that's how I think that it came to stay here with Crusherlaw.
When was the club first formed, Noel?
Well, as far as I don't know what year the club was first formed, but I and a few other people from the joining club there joined Crusherlaw in 1956, and we won. That was the first year we won the 56 junior league, and then we entered the senior league in 1957. Which was, and the finals of that was played in 1958. So we won the 1957 Senior League, along with the 57 Senior League, along with the 58, along with the championship. In fact, the Sunday before the final was played, the senior final. So it was a 1957 Senior League and a 1958 Senior Championship, so one Sunday after the other. You understand? So then that was the beginning of this famous club that has been.
What made it famous? The 7 in a row, was it?
Well,
or the style, or the famous men that played with the club?
Well, there was great players.
Name a few of them.
Well, I just the man that's sitting beside me,
Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, that scored 3 goals in the 1958 final against the Gaels, and he was one of the stars, and of course there was a number of other ones that at that time, including John Byers and Noel Hanley and the late Noel O'Reilly and Brian O'Reilly and Big Peter O'Donoghue, Hubert Gaffney, and I don't think Philip was a member of the 58 senior team, although he was a member of the 60, the first junior title that was taken to the club, or taken to the for the club. He was a member that.
He was out through injury that time.
That's correct. Yeah.
What year was that now?
1956, he had an injury to his back and he kept him out over that. He tried to make a comeback, but the injury still.
Where was your first field? Where did you first play?
Gorman's Field.
Yeah, that's right.
Gorman's Field. Where is that?
It's at Mullycastle Crossroads.
Oh, Mullycastle Crossroads.
Gorman's Crossroads.
Yeah. An odd rush pushing it, I suppose.
Yeah, and not rock.
An odd rock in it, yeah.
Those were hectic days.
That's what made football, yeah.
Then we moved later on to Keynes.
Sorry?
We moved later on to Keynes.
Keynes
And there was a big farm in that field, and no visiting team ever beat us there.
Hey.
I mean, it was a shoot. Because if he didn't beat us down, he was one of them. So we had always great pictures in Keynes. And I think the field there produced, in my opinion, some great footballers with the poor grounds.
Dan, you played yourself.
No.
Didn't play at all. I thought you played.
No.
What about Dr. Jimmy Fay here in the background? Can we talk to you for a minute about your days in football in Crusherlough? What years did you play with them, Jimmy? And in what capacity?
I was a keen rival of theirs.
Huh?
That was keen rival for about 15 years.
That was originally, was it?
Oh yes.
Did you not play with the club eventually?
I just played for one game.
One game. When was that?
1980.
Yeah.
And the broke my leg that day, and that was the end.
But you looked after them since in different capacities, training and one thing and another. You're still with them. What are you doing at the moment?
I'm involved in the schoolboy football with Jimmy here, Philip Farley, and Noel here as the chairman, and Jimmy is the secretary of it.
And you're going okay?
Well, we're catering for a large group of children, like 7, 8 underage lads. They're getting plenty of football. We're not too successful though. I think it's important that, winning is not everything. Playing is the whole game.
Well, that's for sure. Play and competition, the emphasis on competition. Jimmy, is there any aspects that you would like to talk on football and historical moments? Or?
Well, sure, one must remember that the first title that ever came, senior title, came in 1958. That had to be in the start. I mean, it got up this club from really nothing to where it is the club in the county, which has been for the last 35 years.
Synonymous with football.
Yeah, and that was the start. We had won the minor title in 1954-55 under a fellow in town here called Brian Beagles.
Where's Brian gone to now?
He's back in Motherhorn, a character in his own right, and came in and the late Jimmy Little.
Who were your arch rivals in Cavan at that time? Who was the next best club to you when you were going strong?
Cavan Gaels, I'd say.
Cavan Gaels.
One of the biggest clubs.
And they're still contenders, like.
Yes, they are all the way. Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. But then we played in the 1958 final. One of the best finals, I believe, that ever was played in Cavan. So they were there, and we played them on a number of occasions since, and they have been a successful club as well.
What's the outlook for the club now in the coming years? Like, you've had a good fundraising campaign there now, and you're in the middle of you have your pitch and you have it developed, and you're building dressing rooms. And what's the outlook in the future?
Oh, I think
plenty of talent still around.
I think we sound like that. There's a great future for this club.
Plenty of talent.
Yeah, we have a number of players. We have a great number of players, young players, and I think that's where the success is built, is with when you start at school level and you build them up. And I think that this club has done a great job in looking after young players. We start at the bottom, like the one sat in a row there, and then there was a lapse for a lot of years because there wasn't much done.
The setback.
But with the help of these men here beside me, Jimmy Smith and Jimmy Fay and Michael McDermott and John Byers and a number of people, all has looked after the young players, and that they are getting the benefit out of it now. Yeah. They have an under 21 team this year. They were lucky to be beaten in the final last year. They're still running the year after qualifying for another round after today.
Well, that's not so bad. You had a good success today.
Yeah.
What's the score today?
Well, it wasn't a great score, but it's very important to get there.
Get there.
Yeah. And
So the outlook's bright.
Yeah, it's
Good,
very,
good.
it's very encouraging.
In the background here, Charlie Farley. Charlie, were you a footballer?
No.
No.
You play football now?
I did very little. I thought of the Kelly.
I think we associate you with the Beagles more than
That's
anything
right.
else. Will you come up here and tell us about Beagling and what exactly it's all about, or how you get the kicks from looking at dogs? They're a peculiar breed of a dog. They're a breed unto themselves.
Yeah, like it.
You have to learn the language first.
You have to learn the language. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah.
Dan, you're a Beagling man as well.
Yes. That's right.
Um,
Well, I do.
were you out today?
Well,
Where were you today?
I'm in Kelly, yeah.
On your own, was there?
No, well, I climbed up from the north.
Up from the north.
Kimoa.
From where?
Kimoa.
Kilmore.
Kimoa, yeah.
And what exactly is the competition there? How do you?
Well, it's good. They were really good hunting. Too many hares, that's all.
Too many hares.
Too many hares, that's all the thing that was wrong.
And they all got away.
They did, well, we hope they did anyway. We don't like to see them kicking.
It's a very ancient sport, is it? It must go back a long, long time, does it?
Well, I say those would actually not longer than our age started anyway.
It must even go back longer than football, I'd say.
Oh, that's fun.
Back probably to Cumhull.
I'd say so. I'd say so.
You get the kicks
It's
out.
back a long time, yeah.
Is it a winter sport?
I not that kind of long
Is it a winter sport, Charlie?
It is, it was a sport. It is. That's about the 1st of October now to the 1st of April.
And it's a pretty.
And then it stopped in and the dag hunt kicks on.
Yeah.
It's got
But
dag
it's,
hunt.
it's something associated with Cavan in particular, isn't it?
Well,
And in all of the counties,
The
more.
Northern counties and Clare. Clare is good.
Is Clare
and Kelly.
Clare and Kerry.
Kelly is a great country.
Yeah, but not up the country as we say in Meath
Not
or
so much.
Louth
No,
or no,
not so much.
no.
No.
It's more the more rugged paths
That's
where you
right.
can get up on the hill and
That's right.
get a good view.
Yeah, yeah, good view, yeah.
So that's it, Dan. Is there anything you want to add to? Now, J.P. McDermott from Mullahorn, footballer and huntsman, to give us Connaughty's ass.
Come on, ye Gaelic dancers, and listen unto me. I'll give for you a verse or two about our new MC. It's off this chance I must abide, and I cannot let it pass. It means to tell you on and all he owns a rambling as. This ass he is in mine shoes, and on his breast a sore. He is a scourge in Middletown, and all around them gore. The neighbours on their beds at night to sleep they are afraid, for they never know the hour that he carries out his raid. It was on a cold and stormy night not very long ago. The master's ass and Connaughty's to Camels they did go. The first attack to Predahape, their hunger to subdue, and then part off a stack of oats which disappeared from view. 'Twas bright and early next morning, James Camel he moved out to view his little holdings and have a look about. A heap of straw he did espy, and clay there was galore, but neither oats nor Preda's sure it grieved his heart for sure. Alas now, dearest Mary, alas shall what we do? Sure Connaughty sauce and the masters as a bus about in ruin. It was in some months later to the gunners he did go. To the words that Campbell uttered, I meant to let you know. To see Connaughty's on a Sunday, gone driving off to Mass. That it never dawned upon you that he wouldn't have been the poor last.
This is the Corner Playing Group. 3 times winners of the Ulster Flag Hole. And here are some of the members of it here. Starting here is Damien Caffrey, Deirdre Martin, Brian Caffrey, Geraldine Martin, Kathleen Massey, Rita Martin, and myself, Paddy McDermott. And we're going to play is 3 jigs. The Paddy Play selection.
central bar here in Kinnerlake. Probably more popular known as the Miller's Pub. Later on we'll introduce you to the proprietor. It's one of the pubs in the town that actually puts Kinnerlake on the map, being the winners of the County Cavan quiz. First of all the town quiz, the County Cavan quiz, the Ulster quiz, and eventually the All-Ireland champions. There's no better man in the town than Paddy Smith himself, who's the owner. He's been around here for the last 60 years. Take her, give it a day or two, like at the same time. But anyway, I'd like to introduce you to Paddy. He'll introduce you to the personalities around the bar here tonight, and also tell you a little bit about the town. And we would first of all like for him to elaborate a little bit and tell you about how they went about winning the All-Ireland Pub Quiz. I'd like to hand you over here to Patrick.
Well, gentlemen, we are the All-Ireland winners and we're in the competition here again this year. We're hoping to bring off a double, but we have stiff opposition now in Kinnerlake. We have two very fine teams, or three teams yet in the running. We have John Lovett's and Peter Brady's and Dan Riley's, and we have a team from the Tank, which we're going to have a go at first. And if we got them out of the way, we'd be into the semi-finals and final. And with a bit of luck, we might bring off the double. The pub quiz is going very well. And it's drawing great crowds, good competitions, and getting great audience. And we hope to bring off the double. That's all my intention now, anyway.
Well, Paddy, we'd like to ask you how long have you been in the town now?
Well, I'm here 21 years this year.
And have you seen many changes since you yourself came into the town
I've
first?
seen a lot of changes. There's a lot of changes in Kinnerlake now in 21 years. In fact, when I came here first, there was a good fair going on that, and that fair has been done away with, and everyone from around here goes to Ballyjames off to the mart. And that was one of the setbacks that came to Kinnerlake in my time. But things has improved a fair bit since.
Yeah. Well, I think Kinnerlake is more better known for a pig fair rather than anything else. Is that true?
Oh, it was, yeah, on the calf fair. In my time.
Pig and calf,
Pig
yeah.
and calf, yeah.
I suppose money's the man you diddled in an old calf for a pig.
Ah, well, no. Wouldn't say that now.
Well, we only mean that affectionately. No, we're not.
All very decent people around Kinnerlake.
Well, that's for sure.
Area.
That's for sure. Yes. You've been yourself being a past member of the Crushlaw football team too. That's a few years back too.
The last I played with Crushlaw in early 50s and on to 1956.
Did you win any medals yourself, Paddy, with the team?
No,
at
I
that time?
won junior medal and I won fish medal in Ballyjames stuff.
Ballyjames out there, yeah. Challenge match.
Well,
Well, it wasn't for doing the jig or the reel anyway.
No.
Yeah. Well, there's very little industry about the town at all at the moment. The creamery.
No, the creamery is all the industry we have here, and well, we have a few new shops opened up, and I think in a few years more, new houses and things is going to improve and brighten up.
Yeah, the community is expanding a bit, all right.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Is there anything the town has to look forward to besides hopefully that you will win the All-Ireland Pub Quiz this year again?
Well, winning the pub quiz, it doesn't mean a lot to the town. Of course, it's a bit of an honour, all right, but as you know, the pub quiz is run for the rehabilitation in Cavan, and the more money we can make for it, the better help we can give them.
Yeah, well, I do believe there's great returns in every one of the pubs, great turnout and great return as regards
All there is, yeah.
monetary value.
Kinnerlake is out in the zone now and that. If every town in Cavan or every small town in Ireland done as good as Kinnerlake, I think they'd be very, very thankful.
Yeah, if you get the same response, like
Yeah,
you'd be,
that's it, yeah.
you'd have to be said for it.
Oh, yeah. One of my first customers here is William Byers from Crushlaw. And Bill, I suppose, was here some of the first days I came here 20 years ago. Bill, do you see much changes on the old drink or prices since? Is drink dear now, or was it dear that?
Well, it's various.
Yes.
It's just as hard to get the money that it's just as hard to get the money for it that as now.
Yes.
And you still like a bottle of stout.
I sure do.
Two of them maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, you can't.
Yeah. Well,
And you will drink it even if it got a bit dearer.
I'm sure.
Good man.
I intend to.
Well, that's one satisfied customer.
Yeah.
Well, Paddy would like to ask you now, recapping on the that 1955 team, a lot of people that are not present here tonight that played in that team. Past names gone but not forgotten. Would you like to perhaps elaborate and tell us a story or perhaps name a few of the people who were on that team in that year?
Well, I could tell you every one of them, and I'm included in that myself. And that was the last year I played with. No, I'm sorry now about that. There was two teams in Crusherlaw that time. There was a team in Drumkelly and a team in Crusherlaw. So that's the Crusherlaw team now that we had in 1955.
In 55, yeah.
The first man there is Liam McKernan. P. Smith now. P. Smith is Colin P. Daly. And his father Benny Maguire. And Paddy Lynch of Coolkin. This is two Lynch from Crosskeys. Peter Farley. Philip Maguire and John Byers. Owen Lynch, Matty Smith, Owen Lynch, Jimmy Riley, Matty Smith, myself, Kerry Lynch of Turner Lion, Jimmy Riley, and Seamus Maguire.
Yes. Well, Paddy, as the song goes, 21 years is a very long time. I think that's the amount of times that you come in here first. Could you elaborate a little bit on the price of drink, Patrick, at the time when you come in, and the difference in the prices now?
Well, that time it was old money, and of course we had no pints at him. It was only bottles of stout, and the bottle of stout was 11 pence of old money when I came in here, and the half and a whiskey was 1 and 2 pence.
My God, huh? The good old days, you might
And
say.
so still hard enough to get the money that time.
Well, 11 pence that time was the equivalent, I suppose, at the moment you might say it's less than a 5-penny piece.
Oh yeah.
The vast difference between that and the price of a bottle of stout now, which is what, 50? What is it now?
There was 59 pence off there.
59 pence. You could say a difference between a shilling and 12 shillings now.
Yeah.
In a matter of 20 years.
Yeah. That's
Huh?
the mistake.
We'd like also to take this opportunity of introducing another member of the family here, and sort of, you could say, a silent partner. The one and only, an old friend of mine from years back too, who used to taught him how to play darts. In the auctioneering business, as Paddy is himself, his name is Barney McAvey. If we could get Barney up here in front of the cameras to say a few words now. So here we have Barney here sitting beside me now. He's a very popular member of the community, well known in many parishes besides Kinelake or Crusherlaw. I'd like to ask Barney at the present moment, he's in the auctioneering business, the land business and so on. Have you seen a big change, Barney, in the years gone by in the price of land and what it costs to take a bit of land and so on? Would you like to elaborate a little bit on that?
Oh, there's a big change, of course, for the last 10 years. It was very cheap in the beginning when we started first, that's something around 15 years ago. And after 6 years, I think, it began to rise. Then it went away up until the year before last year, it's down again, and back again, with lessons and things like that. Smaller than it was, not a bigger demand on it now.
Well, I suppose you could say it had improved for a while, but now it's sort of levelling back to its normal sort of...
Come back already.
Turn back a bit. So, what do you think the outlook is for the farmer? Like, if you seen it, you probably wouldn't be...
Well, according to the latest statistics, he has to pay on his bill to the country, you see, that's not a good look at the same.
It's not a
So
good...
we won't be paid for working. That wouldn't be a good look on.
Well, you think the prospects at the moment for the farmer community doesn't look too good at all?
What?
Prospects for the farmer community at the moment.
Well, the farmer that has to work and has to pay tax for working doesn't look sensible. Has to be one way of the fact. If he has to, you pay 2.50 a gallon apparently on milk according to the common market today, that's why you have to pay if we produce much milk. There's not much interest in working for it. So I'd see that a lot of them might quit it. That's all they could do. If you work on a Saturday and a Sunday and pay more because you work more, doesn't look well.
Well, effectively what you're saying then is the farmer has to work 7 days a week to make a living out of the land. And the way the present government is putting this levy of taxes on it.
Well, it's not the government putting it on. It's the EC.
And the EC is more. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's not the government.
Well, do you see any short-term or long-term solution as regards the situation at the moment? How would you go about it if you were to say to change things about? Let's put it that way. How would you go about it?
Well, the man would do more when he get more. You know, he's going to have more, but he's basically at a level now the same as any ordinary he'd ever worked at all. £2,000 a man, you see. So if he works 7 days a week and he works 5 days a week, if he has enough over and above, he pays the same thing. So it couldn't work out. It'll reduce work, in my opinion.
So in effect what you're saying is the farming community is brought down to the standard of the ordinary working man. And you're going to be taxable on 2,000 quid.
You will,
above
yeah.
that.
He is at the present time. Go on.
He comes in the paddy every night, you see.
Niet te veel van die.
At this stage of the seasons of the evening, I'd like to introduce you to a well-known character in the vicinity and also very well character. He's a great singer as well too, and I think one of his favourite pieces is Molly Malone. I'd like to turn over to Sonny McGivney here to sing with Molly Malone. So give him a nice round of applause there for a start.
Face the camera.
Go on, Sonny. You have to.
We always say at the window in engine, I would sway over the sea. For them rocky roads I would follow, and the heaven to me. When the sun goes outwards and away down the wells, and the great Isle of Bells in the little town in Old County Down.
Well, Sonny, I won't ask your age or anything. That is a very personal question, but I know for a fact that you've been around the town since I was a kid, and a long time before that. And you've seen good times and you've seen bad times. Would you like to tell us a bit about when you were a young fella?
I worked for 1 and 6 a day.
You worked for 1 and 6 a day. And what class of work were you doing at that time?
At a builder.
You were
With Higgins.
With Higgins the builder. I see.
I worked with John Son of Kill.
And what year would that be?
I tried to tell you. What, Tommy?
That's funny.
I tried to tell you what year I said now. I worked with John Son for £3 for 4 months. John Son of Kill. I did work. Never there to tell me why.
Keep talking.
That went on well anyway. I went and I was taking 18 bob a week with Master Martin. Because I that new house up there. And we fell out. We were paying my mother every shop I need. All them best and everybody. I said nothing only a bare shilling my own money. Shop I need come. I went off from the morning up to March and back at hand after Heather. I hired with them at £6 a year.
6
I was in it for 4 years. I was in it for 4 years with his wife's mother time. The days and moment. For the same money. I hired with Jack Haney for the same money. I was in it for 8 half a year. Doing it. My man's worked. That's only 5 shillings a week. I'm right around.
Right, Sonny, keep cracking. Keep chatting.
And I put in that anyway. And with the way I talk small at 24 years of age. I worked for 1 and 6 a day with 2 rice for the building today and a 9 bob a week. And we paid wage after that. Now, I tell you anything more.
One man, Sonny.
I know it's 10 pound a day now for me.
And you're going to marry the third.
Oh, you forgot that.
You're going to marry the third.
Oh, no, then.
Well, after all, Sonny, now, you've seen a lot in your time.
I did.
Well, the times were tough then.
It was tough.
You could say that.
There was bad times.
The bad times were in it.
I mean the time Papa went up to April.
April, so was that a pint now or was
A
it?
pint.
You could get a pint them then for it.
It went up to a tanner. My cook, I feel him one night after doing a day's work in that early bomb for Sammy Winton of Good Guard. I had walked 10 miles home that night. I went out at 8:15 and at 10:15 I'd 16 cocks of hay put up.
Oh, that was good.
That was good.
Hay.
That was great going. That was great going.
Next day was 29th of June. It was in wee lumps, small lumps that was. And Sammy, he said, what about picking them up? No, it's fit for cocking. And at 10:15 I have it up. Well, next day was a holiday, 29th of June. I had put some money at the tin with a first wife. Met him coming in from work and I feel on him and he says, morning I'll pay you for holiday. Why was no money? He looked for money and he had no only a cheque. He come to Canada. The gas support was that thing, Miss Bob beside myself was only suppers.
The glass of water.
No, tanner for a pint, a wooden ball.
But we all wish them days are here again.
Well, Miss Simon's put up a gas supporter. I said to her, who put up that? Miss Winton, he said, no.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage of the evening, I'd like to introduce you to Tommy Smith here, standing beside me.
Hello.
At this stage of the evening, I'd like to introduce you to Tommy Riley here, more affectionately known as the Trojan in Kinnerlake. But however, Tommy is one of the better known personalities in the town. He's a great organiser, let it be an Irish night, a concert, or anything to do with charity whatsoever. And he's well represented at the moment in this pub quiz, which has gone on throughout the country as well as in Kinnerlake, with the rehab. And I'd like to hand you over to Tommy now and let him say a few words on the rehab and the pub quiz.
Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to elaborate too much because I think everybody in the area fairly well acquainted with the pub quiz. But 3 years ago, started off with just a nationwide thing. 3 years ago, we started off here in Kinnerlake, and initially it was a bit hard to get it off the ground, but eventually people started to take interest, and we're very proud of the Kinnerlake at the present time. I got the job of going around with the big old empty pint measure there, doing a bit of collecting, and sure, that's one thing I must say. From the first day I started until the day I finished, I saw a lot of smiles, but I never saw a frown. People put their hands in their pockets, they took them out with money in them, and that was their way of thanking Almighty God for having the use of all the limbs of their bodies. And I really appreciate that as such, because it is all in aid of the rehab, and the Rehabilitation Institute in Cavan is the one that our fund, our local centre that our funds goes towards, but it's, as you all know, it's a nationwide affair. It's sponsored by Guinness and Thunderbird. They provide the trophies. Now, the rehab in Cavan, you'd really want to be there to appreciate what they do for those unfortunate people who are less fortunate than us. No words of mine would convey to you the wonderful job they do in the effect of training people to take an active part in life and secure employment afterwards. So that's the reason why I took part first in the rehab. And here in Kinnerlake, the first year we didn't go all that far, but at least we went as far as the county final. And Paddy Smith was beaten in the county final. And last year there was a better interest taken in it, and there was a wonderful competition here locally in Kinnerlake. And Paddy Smith's team, locally known as the Millers, won out the Kinnerlake area. Also went on then, won the area final, and went down to Donegal and won the Ulster final. And so of course everybody said, oh, they have no hope, they go no farther, it's a wonderful achievement to get that far, but they did. And the reason they did was they put an awful lot of hard work and effort into it. The team and the proprietor of the pub saved no expense or effort in making sure that they got there in good time and all the rest. So it was a wonderful achievement when they went over to Kilkenny on that never to be forgotten night and brought home the All-Ireland. That was in the sporting sense of the word, and it's a wonderful achievement for Kilkenny. But any All-Ireland is an All-Ireland, because that particular night in Kilkenny, we met them from all over Ireland, including Cork and the West and everywhere else. But we're back again this year, and at the present time, we're presently involved in the pub quiz, and we're just after finishing the first stage of it, and we're now in the second round. In fact, this very night we have completed the draws for the second round, and I couldn't just say enough for the people of Kilkenny the way they have contributed towards this rehab. Now, I don't like to take up that much more of your valuable time to just keep talking on about it. I think I just got the message across, because enough said is enough. What do you think about that?
Well, we'd like to. I'd now like to introduce you to a well-known personality in the community, Mrs. Maureen Gaughan. She'd be probably more affectionately known to a lot of people, not alone in County Cavan, but through all the counties of Ireland, as Maureen O'Brien. Yeah. She was the lead singer with the Lynch Brothers, and actually did put the Lynch Brothers on the map in days bygone. And Maureen is going to oblige us now with one of the probably the best known and most loved of Irish ballads, Bold Robert Emmet.
The struggle is over, the boys were defeated, old Ireland surrounded in sadness and gloom. We were defeated and shamefully treated, and I, Robert Emmet, awaiting my doom, hung, drawn and quartered, sure that was my sentence, but soon I will show them no coward am I. My crime is the love of this land I was born in. A hero I've lived, and a hero I'll die. Bold Robert Emmet, the Dardan of Erin. Bold Robert Emmet will die with a smile. Farewell, companions, both loyal and daring. I lay down my life for the Emerald Isle, but I was arrested and cast into prison, tried as a traitor, a rebel, a spy, but sure no one can call me a knave or a coward. A hero I've lived, and a hero I'll die. Hark the bells tolling, I well know its meaning. My poor heart tells me it is my I am proud of the honor, sure 'twas only my duty. A hero I've lived, and a hero I'll die.
Well, I'll take you back once again. This time it's Tommy Reilly. Not only was he a great organiser of functions in the community, but he's also a very fine singer indeed. And this time we have Tommy with a rendering of the old favourite, very old Irish rebel song, Shanna Golden. So we hand you over to Tom.
The cold winds from the mountains are calling soft to me. The smell of scented heather brings bitter memories. The wild and golden eagle flying high up in the skies flies high o'er Shanna Golden, where my young Willie lies. Do you remember, darling, we walked the moonlit road? I held you in my arms, I'd never let you go. Our hands that were entwined, my love, all in the pale moonlight, by the fields of Shanna Golden on a lonely winter's night. Then came the call to arms, love, the hills that were aflame. Down from the silent mountains the Saxon stranger came. I held you in my arms, my young heart wild with fear, by the fields of Shanna Golden in the springtime of the year. Oh, you fought them, darling Willie, all through the summer day. I heard the rifles firing in the mountains far away. I held you in my arms while your blood ran free and bright, and you died near Shanna Golden on a lonely summer night. That was long ago, my love. Now our sun is big and strong. The hills, they are at peace again. The Saxon strangers gone. There are roses on your grave, my lord. There's an eagle in the sky, flying high o'er Shanna Golden, where my young Willie lies. Flying high o'er Shanna Golden, where my young Willie lies. Shinny!
Well, we hand you back this time to Sonny McGavin, and he's going to do a very well-known Dublin number. I don't know how often either of us have been in Dublin, but it's a well-known one throughout the country anyway. It's called Biddy Mulligan, the old Friday the Cook. Right, Sonny, take it away.
You may come from Care to a county hill there, to double right by to come. How will you see your voice with a white name, Biddy Mulligan of Kaya? I am the sun is out on
Come on, take it away.
I have a son here second hand shop, old salon, now collar and tie. How were you? See, I'll find with no like me, but he wasn't enough kind of my crew.
Hey! Right, well, I sorry.
Say when you're right, say when you're right. Say when you're right.
Right, you want to say something?
Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on, Tommy, hold on.
No. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a lovely night's entertainment, but there is one man here who did interview her, and it gives me wonderful pleasure now to introduce to you a man who needs no introduction. He's known all over Ireland. That's the one-man band. I know better man to live up to that name than the one and only Eamon Fitzsimons.
Well, I don't know about the Irish factor or be known all over Ireland, but anyway, seeing as it is coming up to St. Patrick's Day, I would like to do a very good old Irish number, and I would like everyone else that does know the words of it within the audience here tonight to join in the chorus, and it's a little one called The Four Green Fields.
So we do.
What did I have, said the fine old woman. What did I have, this proud old woman did say. I had 4 green fields, and each one was a jewel, and strangers came that tried to take it from me. I had 5 strong sons that fought to save my jewel, the fought and the died, and that was my grief, said she. Long time ago, said the fine old woman. Long time ago, this proud old woman did say, there was war and death, plundering and pillage, my children starved, all mountain and valley and sea, and their wailing cries, they shook the very heavens, and my 4 green fields ran red with their blood, said she. What have I now, said the fine old woman. What have I now, this proud old woman did say. I have 4 green fields, and one of them's in bondage by strangers' hands. They tried to take it from me, but my sons have sons as brave as were their fathers, and my 4 green fields will bloom once again, said she. And my 4 green fields will bloom once again, said she.
Seeing that we have come to the end of... Well, ladies and gentlemen, apparently we have come to the end of a fine evening's entertainment, and I just want to take you back slightly to the winning of the All Ireland Pub Quiz 1982. As a result of winning the All Ireland Pub Quiz 1982, the local community felt that Paddy Smith's team were entitled to some appreciation. because it's very seldom that All Ireland's come to Killeneck, once in a lifetime. So a few heads got together and run a function in Crosskeys. Purchased a few trophies, plus this silver tray. We gave trophies to each of the member of the winning team, and this silver tray here, which you see here in set, we purchased for Paddy and his missus, which they were well entitled to. And here on the right, you can see the winning team. I take them in order as from left to reading from left to right. Paddy McEnroe, Jimmy Smith, Des Taylor and Tommy Smith. Paddy Smith, the proprietor, holding one of the trophies that the All Ireland team won, and his Mrs. Cathy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all I have to say on tonight. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in Ballygym stuff.